Okay, thank you. So there will be some similarities to the previous talk. So I'm going to be talking about a project we ran on Kangaroo Island a couple of years ago, looking at the human health and the ecosystem benefits of environmental volunteering. It's very much a partnership project with the Kangaroo Island Health Service, Natural Resources Kangaroo Island, Regional Development Australia, Junction Australia, which is a regional development, Eco Action Kangaroo Island, which is an environmental volunteering group, and Finding Workable Solutions, which is an employment agency. So there was a lot of buy-in from all these different partners because there were a lot of different benefits to the different groups. So just a bit of background why the Environment Department would want to be looking at something like this. Well, as we've been hearing a lot at the conference, there's an increasing awareness of the importance of nature contact for human health, but it's relatively recently been taken up in Australia, and there's not that many studies that have demonstrated it, and even less demonstration has been about environmental volunteering. So there's been a recent body of work, small body of work, looking at that maybe environmental volunteering has some unique properties about it that can improve well-being. It touches on some of the characteristics we need to improve well-being, the contact with nature, the relationship building, and doing something purposeful and that sort of thing. So not only is it contact with nature, environmental volunteering, it's got those other aspects to it. So we focused on the environmental volunteering part of it, and also what's been realised in recent years is that there's quite a few barriers to environmental volunteering. Normally it's the same socio-economic status of people that participate in environmental volunteering, and you don't often get the more marginalised members of the community, the long-term unemployed, mental health, physical difficulties. And as an environment department, in an environment where there's declining budgets and an increasing reliance on volunteers, understanding more about the barriers to environmental volunteering is important, and to see if we can address some of those barriers. The other aspect to it is if we can engage a broader sector of the community in environmental volunteering, we're also increasing environmental stewardship to a body of people that wouldn't normally have exposure to that sort of thing. So the overall objective of the project was to improve wellbeing and environmental stewardship through environmental volunteering on Kangaroo Island. We measured various things. We measured health benefits, we looked at wellbeing, social connectedness and social inclusion. We measured environmental benefits, stewardship through NRM projects, as well as the on-ground actual environmental volunteering, the tree planting and so on. And we also measured other benefits that happened along the way, other skills that were developed. Did people get jobs after they did our program? Did they tick off on a bit? Were they more trained up at the end of it? So how we went around it, so we ran 3, we called them Get Dirty, Feel Good programs. They were 10 weeks of duration, and it involved 10 to 12 participants, 1 day a week for the whole 10 weeks. So we only took people that committed to the whole 10 weeks, and we did that 3 times. We made the programs available to the whole community. We had flyers up at the supermarket down the main street, but we did target the more marginalised members of the community. So we had the mental health team on our steering committee, we had the employment agency on our steering committee, so we had access to a lot of people, so they would target their clients and so on. So we had because we had so many partners, it was quite easy to access a more marginalised thing of the community. And so with that 1 day a week, we ran sessions, often, so there was training and information on a range of environmental issues. Usually we did 1 project each different week, so 1 week the Threatened Plant project officer would give us a theory lesson in the classroom, then we'd go out and they'd show us what they do in the field. We'd help them collect seeds, we'd plant trees, we'd do seagrass monitoring and that sort of thing. We did a whole range of different projects that were currently going on in Natural Resource Kangaroo Island. So they were just, and we also gave people taster sessions of all the different environmental volunteering groups on Kangaroo Island. We invited them all to come and talk about their groups, and we went out and participated. So we got taster sessions, we got exposed to a lot of different environmental volunteering that was going on the island. And that's just some of the things people did. We did shorebird surveys, we did some skills and training in the classroom, we did dolphin surveys. Yes, and we used a mixed methods approach. So we had questionnaires, people did a lot of questionnaires, and so we had that qualitative assessment, and we also had quantitative assessments, so we did some stats and graphs and that sort of thing. So for example, the environmental stewardship and awareness, we asked people, do you think conserving the environment is important? And people rated that on a scale of 1 to 5, and we asked them that at the end. How would you rate your awareness of the environment? And we asked them the same questions and compared them at the start and the end. So just some results, because I do want to show a video. It's 3 minutes long, so I don't want to run out of time. So just some results, and this is all written up, in case I forget to say, in a technical report on the Natural Resources Kangaroo Island website and in a scientific paper, if you want more detail. But basically we had 32 participants, 78% were considered marginalised, so that included people with mental health issues, physical health issues, behavioural issues. We also, and offenders, but we also went into the school. We made it available to the school in the end. So we had some of the school refusers and the flexible learning students join our program. So we had an age range of 14 to 71, 53% were male, 78% were marginalised. And during that time they did about 1,000 hours in volunteering, of which 520 hours in environmental volunteering. In terms of, did the program improve our understanding of the environment or the need to conserve it, where 5 is a great deal, then average was 4.4. So just a self-rated score at the end, just an example. Most people thought the program improved their understanding of the environment. In terms of well-being, we measured mood state. We measured it at the start of each day and at the end of each day, and we looked at a whole lot of parameters, and how the mood shifted with the different activities. Were they more happy when they started, less unhappy? Were they more bored and more interested? Just remembering that one. But most of, from what we got with the positive shift in mood state, yeah, so overall more than 60% of parameters improved during the activities. We found with well-being, this is probably a bit complicated to see, this